You're gonna be the camera guy? Welcome, and thank you for coming to hear my Communications 113 speech on my pathway to leadership. Being bold and outgoing has always come naturally to me. As my parents can attest, I've been far from demure or reserved since the start. I've never been afraid to speak up or take initiative. For me, the leadership learning curve didn't come with being comfortable in front of a crowd or calming my nerves, rather with using my fearlessness for good and not evil. As Spider-Man has famously been inspired, with great power comes great responsibility. Looking back on my pathway to leadership, lots of remarkable moments spring to mind. Today, I'd like to tell you the story of the time I was elected senior class president at Elko High School. As a high school student, I loved being involved. I was a member of the pep club, the drama club, a peer mentor, the voice of the morning announcements, and on the student council. I adored pep rallies and spirit days and all the events and fundraisers. My favorite class was public speaking. In Mrs. Nielsen's speech class, we had the opportunity to truly get to know each other through different types of speaking and communication. I was able to develop my knack for chattiness into a real skill. As my passion for talking in front of others grew, I saw more and more opportunities to put this skill to use. It wasn't long until I set my eyes on the prize, speaking at graduation. It was my junior year when the determination truly kicked in. If I wanted to be elected class president and give the send-off speech to my peers, I knew I needed their votes. The campaign planning began at the beginning of 11th grade. If my eccentric nature had made me known amongst my classmates yet, I made sure they would know by name by the end of the school year. I met as many people as possible, introduced myself to unfamiliar faces, and made appearances in classes I didn't even belong in. What may have looked like skipping class and nonsensical conversation was really networking, relationship building, and marketing my strengths in connecting with people. At the risk of being perceived as annoying or extra, I participated and posted as much as possible. If you didn't see me at the football game, you saw my Instagram about it. What started out as social strategy quickly became an enriching and enjoyable way to make new friends. Looking back now, the time I spent acquainting potential voters was really just a great way to get to know people. High schools are filled with diverse, interesting young people with goals and ideas and the silliest inside jokes. Once I looked around campus and saw nothing but people I cared for, campaigning to be their president was even more important to me. I still wanted the opportunity to speak at graduation, but now, working on behalf of my classmates to make senior year the best it could be for everyone was my mission. The fun part was running the actual campaign. My slogan, the saying printed on hundreds of flyers hung up all over the school, was simple but impactful. Michaela C. Bates, not attractive, not athletic, not popular, plenty of time for senior class president. This, in addition to 30 more unique posters and interesting designs of campaign posters, overwhelmed the halls of Elko High School. You couldn't get to class or even walk a few feet without seeing my face and name. I also produced a campaign video that featured me and a big bag of candy walking around campus talking with other students. I asked them what they thought a good student leader looked like, what they wanted out of senior year, and told them why I wanted to represent our class. I arranged with all the 12th grade teachers to play my video for their students. Not only was my campaign message reaching as many people as possible, some of my peers got to appear on screen in front of their friends in class. The video was a hit, the candy was appreciated, and the posters were undeniably present. I poured my heart into running for this position, and after weeks of continuous effort towards my goal, I was still amazed and honored to have won the election. The excitement I felt over being chosen by my peers was nothing short of the highlight of high school up to that point. I felt like a real leader. The next year was full of event planning, executing, and enjoying, putting together things like senior sunrise and sunset, going to all the games and rallies, decorating for prom, raising funds, and helping plan our after graduation party was hard work, but seeing my classmates light up, let loose, and make memories was all worth it. Sacrificing a little bit of sleep and relaxation to ensure that memories were being made all the time for my senior class also made it worth it. Each event, each day of classes, and each special memory brought me closer to the one thing that made me go for this position in the first place, that big grand graduation speech. At the end of the school year, finding the words to close out our experience as lifelong classmates seemed so far out of reach. The goal I had been working towards was suddenly there, and I wasn't sure that I could accomplish it. A couple of all-nighters, lots of support from my peers and my family, and about 100 rewrites later, I stood on stage on Warrior Field and said goodbye to the class of 2016. As I spoke into the microphone, looking out at the faces of all those who voted me into my most treasured position, I was just overwhelmed with gratitude. Thankful for my peers, for my amazing senior year, and grateful I had found a way to put my bold, outgoing, outspoken personality to good use. Not just for my own gain or goals, but for my friends. Thank you all for listening.